Hey, this is Ari, and in this video, I want to share a little clip from a podcast I recently did with Dr. Stephanie Estima. She is a personal friend of mine, and she's absolutely brilliant at what she does, which is optimizing women's health and specifically how to optimize your nutrition and physical training to optimize female hormones and work with the natural cycles of female hormones. So I highly, highly encourage you to check this clip out, first of all, and also click the link below, listen to the full podcast. Enjoy.
For women, particularly if you are a woman somewhere around your 30s and beyond, she's had one or more pregnancies, she's had one or more labor and deliveries, recovery from said pregnancies, breastfeeding, and then, the wild ride of sleep deprivation that's, commonly referred to as parenting, leaves these women completely exhausted. Like they're running on adrenaline all day long. And we don't have, for a lot of, at least for the women that I've worked with, what I find is that, and I'll also say this, even if you don't have children, so even if there's a woman listening, it's like, well, this doesn't apply to me, I don't have kids. You likely are, if you don't have children, you likely are working. And generally, a woman does somewhere between 60 and 70% of the unpaid work at home. So in addition to the chemical stressors of pregnancy and recovery and breastfeeding and all of that, and the physical and chemical and emotional stressors of working in a career, she's also burning the candle at the other end of the stick at home. Mm-hmm. So when I give this, and usually when I'm talking to, I'm either, I'm speaking to a live group of women in a corporate setting or at a conference or something, I'll say to them, okay, I'm going to give you a list of a few items. I just want you to raise your hand when you hear one of them that you've experienced in the past week.
I'll raise my hand on my wife's behalf.
On your wife's behalf. I love it. So, and there's 9 items here. So it's just in the past week. And I rarely get through the list without everybody's hands up. So I'll read them and you can tell me if your wife has experienced any of these in the last week. And anyone that's listening, also please take note. Brain fog, needing to get coffee in the morning to get you going, energy dips through the day. And I'll specify that by saying after lunch so about, let's call it 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Difficulty falling asleep. So mind is racing or she's just wound up from the day. Difficulty maintaining sleep and specifically waking up somewhere in the middle of the night between 2 and 4 in the morning. Inability to lose weight no matter what. Needing to eat or snack frequently. Mm-hmm. Moodiness and salt cravings. And I say this not to shame anybody. This is not like, look at all the things that you have wrong with you. This is just really just trying to demonstrate that we are in this constant running on adrenaline, contractive state. And when I say contractile or contractive state, what I'm talking about is your sympathetics. So your sympathetic, so we have the autonomic nervous system, which kind of sounds like automatic, and it sort of is. It happens, involuntarily. And there's 2 main branches of it. We have your sympathetics, often called, fight or flight and freeze, like those are the 3 Fs, or your stress response. And then we have your parasympathetics, which is the rest, digest, stay, and play, right? And when we are in this state of survival, which is your sympathetics, this is very contractile, right? Everything gets shut off. Your body is not, if there is a threat or a perceived threat to the organism, you are not going to be thinking about reproduction. You're not going to be thinking about digestion. You're not going to be thinking about your immune system. All your body is concerned with is surviving the impeding or the imposing threat. So your body is going to oppose insulin. So cortisol is a counter-regulatory hormone, meaning that it opposes insulin. Its job is to keep the glucose in the blood so that I can throw it to the periphery, right? So that it can throw it to the musculoskeletal system, because you either need to fight, flight, like get out of dodge, or the other option is just to freeze, right? Like the deer in headlights sort of look. So when you are constantly in this contractive state, you cannot repair, right? Your parasympathetics is where you repair, where you sleep, where you regenerate. So I often and who this applies to is any woman. I'm sort of building this classic woman that I constantly see is like, she's between 30 and 55. She's either a new mom like your wife is, or she is a mom to, two to three kids, balancing a career. She, has had these sleepless nights. She's trying to kind of figure it all out. And her body is telling her that she's sort of, it's like when you look at your gas tank on your car and you see the gas is starting to get into that red zone, and then you get the little thing up on the dashboard, right? Like most women are like, I need to find a gas station, but I just not yet. I just need to get two or more things done on my to-do list before I go and find the SO or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue around this is, if you do not get a handle on your chronic stress, and when I say stress, I use the word inflammation and stress interchangeably. Okay, so chronic low-grade stress or chronic low-grade inflammation, over time, if you don't get a handle on it, it's going to supersede your body's ability to maintain balance, what we call homeostasis.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this video. And one more thing before you go. Actually, two more things. One is, if you enjoyed this particular little clip, the link to the full-length podcast is in the description down below. So make sure to check that out. Also, one more thing. Let me ask you a question. What if I could show you how to double your energy levels and dramatically improve your brain function, reducing your anxiety and depression to a degree on par with antidepressant drugs, but without the side effects? Sound pretty interesting? Well, there are, in fact, numerous compounds that can do this, that have been shown to do this. And I'll take you through just a few of these very briefly. One of them is rhodiola rosea. And this has been shown in studies, rhodiola rosea extract, in people with stress-related fatigue and exhaustion, to cut their levels of fatigue and brain fog in half in less than a month. Just this one compound. There's another compound in my formula Energenesis called NT factor phospholipids that's been shown to help repair mitochondrial membranes and mitochondrial health to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, taking people with deteriorated mitochondria who are over the age of 65, restoring it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds. And that has been shown in numerous studies in various types of chronic fatigue, aging-associated chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue syndrome, to increase energy levels by 30 to 45% in the span of 4 to 12 weeks, depending on the specific study. So dramatic improvements in a very, very short period of time. Two more compounds that are amazing, I highly recommend, that are in my formula Ultra Brain, along with rhodiola rosea. Saffron extract. This has been shown to increase levels of, improve your mood, I should say, and decrease levels of depression on par with fluoxetine, which is Prozac. And not only that, but with fewer side effects. It's much safer and much less likely to cause negative effects than antidepressant drugs are. Acetyl L-carnitine is another compound that's been shown to dramatically improve brain health in older adults. It also improve energy levels in older adults with chronic fatigue by between 40 to 50% in just the span of 2 to 4 months. And the last thing I'll mention here is acetyl L-carnitine has also been compared to antidepressant drugs and been shown, like saffron, to be as effective as antidepressant drugs in combating depression, but without the harmful side effects that so often occur with the drugs. So this is just a small sampling of the over 35 compounds that are in my formulas Energenesis and Ultra Brain that are all proven to dramatically improve energy levels, mitochondrial health, and brain health, and much, much more. And I highly recommend that you go check these out. If you're struggling with depression or anxiety or brain fog, if you're struggling with stress-related exhaustion and burnout, if you're struggling with chronic fatigue, Go check out these formulas, give them a shot. I promise you are going to be blown away by the results. And like I said, the science has already proven that these things work. So you don't have to just take my word for it. There's lots of research to support that. And I'll even link to some of that research down below so you can verify everything that I just said for yourself. So the links to those studies will be in the description for this video down below. So check them out. Check out the formulas on the energyblueprint.com. Again, Energenesis is the mitochondrial formula and Ultra Brain is our brain formula. Check them out, try them out, and I think you're going to be blown away by the results. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.